Oh god, this game still haunts me to this day. Well, today we're gonna talk about games that I regret buying. They are all just some personal stories, so don't get your hopes up about anything really special, but these are just some games that I really regret buying. And first up, Mod Nation Racers. Sure, it's an okay game, but I ended up buying this game back as a kid for about 40-50 euros, and a day later when I went back in the store, it was 10 bucks. I couldn't return it. I don't know, I was like 10 or 12, and the worst thing is I did not understand anything about this game. It was just terrible. I ended up playing the game a little bit, not liking it, and when I really got interested into trying the game again, the online was already shut off, and it was not a great experience buying this. I heard the game is pretty good, but it just wasn't my cup of tea, sadly. Even like the semi-sequels, like I think Sackboy got a kart racer game, and this really was the groundwork for it. But sadly, it just was not my cup of tea, and also just that 40 euro price difference. I still have nightmares about that to this day, because back then I really could not buy every game that I wanted. I really needed to pick them out beforehand. And just buying a game I did not like, plus buying it for like 50 euros, and then the game being 10 bucks the next day, worst experience of my life. And that since then I just started buying games a little bit more with thought behind them. I mean, as a kid I would. But this is just still one of my big regrets to this day. Next up we got something a little bit different. It's not really a regret now, but I still have those regrets. No Man's Sky. Yes, I was one of the ones that got duped, buying it or even reordering it and getting it first day. As we all know, it was one of the games that was just not great. The game just ended up not having all the features. I did have some fun with the game, I do, but just buying it day one and just not really having those promises delivered just felt absolutely terrible. It's luckily a great game now. It still gets expansions, free expansions, I think. So if you buy the game right now, like you can pick it up a lot of times for 10 bucks, 5 bucks. Pick it up now, you will have a great time. But back then, for 60 euros, or I think it was even 70, a lot of pain. Next up I wanted to talk about a digital game that I got. Well, I didn't even actually buy it. It's on Game Pass, but I did spend 80 hours in that game. And what is that game, you might ask? Starfield, the biggest regrets of last year, 2023. I spent 80 hours in the game, no fun at all. It was the most boring experiences of my life, and having to sit through 80 hours of that game, people were saying like, yeah, around the 10-hour mark it gets good. Oh, 10 hours, no, 20 hours, no, 30, no, after 50, and then they said like, yeah, after 70 hours it might get good. And then I ended up spending 80 hours in the game, did everything, did most of the side quests, did the whole main story, got through New Game Plus a little bit as well. I just want my time back, because time is money, and those 80 hours is something I will never get back for a 4 out of 10 game. This next one is Agents of Mayhem. You might see, it says 10 bucks. Normally it was on sale for 5 bucks, but I am actually not regretting this edition or this version. More so that I bought the game day one as a pre-order again. I ended up spending 70 euros on the game. Day one got Johnny Gat. I mean, this even is the pre-order edition or the day one edition. and I got this like a few years later, and now you can get it on sale for like €1, or £1 or one whatever you are living in. I even got the game digitally on Xbox because it was €1. I got a game digitally on PlayStation because it was €1 as well. And just spending $60 or $70 on the day one edition, and then buying it a few months to a year later for €5 in stores physical. It's just terrible. The game is really good though. It's not what people expected. It's not Saints Row, even though it kind of did seem like it. But I still had fun with the game at least. I did play through the game like 3 or 4 times now, and I will probably end up playing it again on Xbox now that I have this. Well, I've had this for a few years, but you know, who has time to play all their games? But yeah, big regret spending all that money on the day one edition on launch. The next one is a little bit different. Persona 5. I do not regret buying this. I do regret not buying this game sooner. I did buy this game like a few years after it came out, and it ended up being one of my favorite games of all time. And I just regret not buying this game sooner. This game just got me into JRPGs, or just like JRPGs in general. I just wish the game just spoke to me more back then, because I just started playing it during COVID. You know, if you want to play one game, this is that game. You have so many hours you can spend in this game. Oops. And you will never just be bored. The whole game just ended up being so much fun. There are so many different options you can go. And I just really regret not buying this game sooner. I did get this edition for $30 because it has a steelbook. But I do also have it digitally, like for $15. You can pick it up pretty cheap nowadays. But this game is a must-buy, even right now, years later. You have also the Royal Edition with more content. But I do really regret not buying this game sooner. Next up is a game I actually got recently, and that is, yes, Monster Hunter Stories 2. And this also got a little bit of a strange story behind it, because I do not actually regret buying this, but I do regret buying this at the time I did, because I did buy this game, and 2 weeks later they announced the PS4 version together with Monster Hunter Stories 1. So I couldn't return it anymore, because it was already too late, and I just didn't end up playing this version. Because, you know, I did not play the first one. I didn't want to spend $150 on the DS version. And then they announced the first one coming to PlayStation 4. Yes, PlayStation 4, not PlayStation 5, strangely. But I really wanted to play it, and I have played the first one now on PlayStation. And I can say it's a really fun game. But I do regret the timing of this buy a lot. I got it because it was $20, so at least I didn't lose like a lot of money on it. But I do have it in my collection now, which is at least a little bit nice. But yeah, this is one of the games that I do really regret buying. Next up is a game that I got at launch as well, and it's Godfall. Yes, it's even still sealed. I never even opened it. Because I never got around to try it. I heard it was not great. I will end up playing it soon, hopefully someday. Well, soon is a big word. But I did spend $80 on this game, €80. Games are here €80 in Europe instead of $70. With PS5 they got a price hike, so this was my first €80 game. And I really regret just buying it day one, because now you can pick it up for so extremely cheap. I think it was even on PlayStation Plus at one point as well. It might even be on PlayStation Plus, the subscription service now as well. But I just really regret buying this due to just not having played it. If I would have played it, I would have probably regretted it a lot less. but because I just didn't play it, I just regret buying this because it's still sealed. I do hope the game is fun, because then I at least have my money's worth, I guess. But yeah, so let's just go back and check all the games again, for the thumbnail of course as well, to check out all the games again. So yeah, these are all the games that I really have a story behind. There might even be some more that later down the line that I might add as well. We might maybe do a part 2. Maybe Phoenix, one of our other presenters, might do one of these videos as well with digital games. I mean, I could have included digital games, but I have so many games that I just regret, well, not really regret buying, because you don't really feel regret with digital buys. At least I don't. Like when I buy a game for $5, I'm just like, okay, it was $5, it's digital, I don't care. But with physical, it just does feel a little bit different, mainly because you spend just more on it. You do get sad at times. But I try to pick a bit of a selection of like that covered a few different systems, and everyone has one regret buy. So why don't you let us know in the comments below what game you regret buying, and maybe the story behind it as well. So thank you guys for watching, and I hope to see you guys next week in another Craves Corner.